Hello and welcome once again to the FwdCompatible podcast. This is episode 85, part 2.
Dos!
For September 22nd, 2013. My name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Brian, Mark, and Mossies. Jason's in the background eating popcorn. In the event you have yet to do so, please do click out or pause the video, check out episode 1, where we do cover this week's news as well as answer the viewers' burning questions. This, of course, is part 2, where we do cover Tony's topic of the week. I didn't even have to do the background music on that one. That was excellent. Quick two-parter. Part 1's going to last 5 minutes. We're just doing the TGS predictions recap. I'll go first. Quickly, none of mine came true. I had new colors to the 3DS and the Wii U. Did not happen. A Vita TV and PS4 bundle was announced for Japan. Did not happen.
No.
Tons of new handheld games that aren't coming west. There was a couple, so we're not going to count that.
No.
And Microsoft announces a Japan exclusive, which I don't know if I get partial credit for, because they announced that the announcement for a Japan exclusive is coming.
It's not even crystal clear what they're doing. They said Microsoft is working with Japanese developers to, it's potentially. I don't even know if it's
Blue Dragon 2!
If it's a certainty. They were so ambiguous about it. If it was more in stone, I think
Very
they would have
cryptic.
said
Very
something.
cryptic.
So this is a maximum of 2 points, correct?
I think we...
No,
Announcement
5.
of a possible announcement.
5 for this one?
5 possible points.
Well, I just meant for the last question because it was worth
2
points.
It's worth 2.
Okay.
I said we give him 1.
Okay.
What
I
are
get
you
1
giving?
point.
We
what
need
do
a
you think?
consensus.
I'm sorry, I was looking for my last.
Do you think I
was
get a half of that one credited?
Oh, because they
The
announced
announcement
something?
of the
Yeah, I think you should get half credit for that.
I'm
Yeah.
giving you 1 point as well.
Okay, so I get 1 point.
Well, likewise, one of my predictions was Microsoft will not announce any exclusives that they have already announced at Gamescom or E3.
Which is true. That's 1 point.
So the announcement of an exclusive is not a game.
No.
Okay.
So you get a
All
point.
right. I get a point.
You or me, there's my predictions.
I announced that Microsoft would release with a bundle. They'd announce a bundle release. They did not do that. So, Nintendo would mention something about Monolith Soft's game X.
Didn't happen either.
So my outrageous one was there will be some news on The Last Guardian. Sony didn't address it in their conference, but they did address it in a post. It was asked about it
during Tokyo Game Show.
during Tokyo Game Show.
No, this goes back to that thing with me where you guys didn't give me credit.
That was 2 weeks later.
No, this was with.
It wasn't
League.
during a... No, it was in
This
the
was
league.
an interview with Game Informer.
Yeah.
I don't know when this interview took place.
During
But
Tokyo Game Show.
Last week I specifically said that they would do it in their conference. They'd address it.
1 out of 2 points for the crazy.
So they announced They announced that they will reintroduce the game, whatever that means.
What do you think, Mark?
1 point.
Quarter point.
There was no quarters. You're either getting a 0, a 1, or a 2 for the crazy.
I'll give them a 1 because they brought it up.
All right.
So you got 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Tony's in last place.
I'm in last place
I've got
already.
Jason
I lose
first.
these
Yeah.
all the time.
What was Jason?
You're Hey, Jason.
Jason.
Halo.
Well, let me smoke every cigarette ever. Okay.
And you see,
Okay.
where's the trigger?
So we got.
Swear to me.
Swear to me. We got a bunch of games will be announced that I don't care about and that won't come out in America.
Not
Not
really.
a bunch.
Not really,
Only a
surprisingly.
few.
Like 1 or 2 games got announced. It was really a recap of what the hell was going on.
It was
which I didn't see
useless, beyond belief.
A crappy JRPG will be announced. Anime people will get excited.
I don't think there was a single one
I didn't
that I
watch-
remember.
I didn't hear
But I
about
also really didn't watch because I was like, oh, a
coming.
translator.
I watched
that
the
was annoying.
conference. No, that didn't happen. But I don't know if it happened in the 1 week span and it
Yeah.
went under my radar, maybe. But in the
Is
conference,
this middle
no.
one your crazy one? It seems like it would be.
Which one? I just
The,
read it.
the Nintendo announcement.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Good
Read it
news.
off.
He had multiple.
Yeah.
this one's nuts. I would never have gone with this, but okay.
Oh, that was my crazy one.
Nintendo announces a new Earthbound not coming out in America.
That was my crazy one.
Yeah, nah.
That didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
And then,
Microsoft announces the Halo RPG.
Second place.
well, Mark didn't go yet.
I'm gonna enjoy
I should
my.
get 1 point for announcements of a bunch of games that aren't coming out. I'll still take last, but I should still get 1 point.
Votes? Does
No,
he get a
there's
point?
one more.
No, I
We'll go around the table.
Sony announces. The
No,
new-
no. Oh yeah, there's
that's
one
right,
more.
that's
Sorry.
right, yeah. That one's a 0 anyways, but Sal will tell him.
Sony announces the new God of War set in Asia.
So does he get a point for his?
Yeah, nothing.
Everybody
Fuck you, you're
shoot.
not getting no more popcorn. No.
1 point.
I didn't know you had
Alright.
popcorn. Give him a
No.
point. Give him a point.
A point for popcorn.
That's how we whirl.
All right.
I think
My-
he bought his points.
My predictions. I had said a minimal 5 JRPGs will be announced and we'll never see. That is a
Minimum.
My next one. We see the retail boxes. That is also a
I thought that was gonna happen for sure. I was like, oh, this is a cheap one, Mark. Way to cop out. What
Yeah.
fucking happened?
No. My next one. There will be no Kingdom Hearts news. That is a +1.
Just fact that it's been in development for like 6 years. That and like the Final Fantasy are both like
Well, everyone
Did they
expected
say
it.
anything about it at TGS?
Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
No, but it's been in
Oh.
development. Kingdom Hearts has been in
Damn it, Mark.
3 has been in development for years.
You
right?
cheap bastard. You always do this.
All right, and my crazy one was Japanese exclusive pack-ins for the consoles. That's an
So you got a 1.
I got a 1.
You son of a whore. Bastard bitch.
Bosses wins.
Moss wins.
My first ever. Was I on the E3 predictions? I don't
I
remember.
don't believe so.
Well,
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, it was just us three, I believe. Unless you didn't show up for the next day. I don't know.
It's like golf. Lowest score wins. We're winners.
all right. I think I got up to 8.
Keep going. While we're talking. Keep thinking, sir.
The motherfucker.
That's why I tried telling you
I
guys
still
about
have
this.
a good one.
Okay, so now we're going to hop into the meat of the Tony's Topic of the Week. Oh shit! All right, we're getting
I love you.
we're getting ridiculously close to the end of this generation,
Is it in the bottom?
and I have a lot of shows planned for Topic of the Weeks, like saying goodbye to the 360 and saying goodbye to the PS3 and the best specific games for those consoles and all that. Those are
1
coming.
year from Wii U.
Yeah, those we got a lot of great stuff coming up, but I have to get these shows out of the way. I know it's a little early because a few more games are releasing for this generation.
Nah, not really.
But
Good.
I think we've seen 99% of this generation, so this is
Yeah,
it's an
easily,
okay time
yeah.
to do it. We are going to be tackling the top 10 overrated games of the generation. And to clarify, that includes the original Wii, not the Wii U, the PS3, and the Xbox 360. So, of course, multi-platform, first-party
So,
exclusives.
Not portables? Because I have 2 portable games on here.
Which ones? I could see if they
Which
count.
portable games were
Well,
rated well?
One is 3DS and one is Vita. Are those considered next generation? Because they came out a couple years ago.
You could use them.
Can I use
Fuck
them?
it,
Okay.
fuck it, whatever.
Cool.
All right. So I guess we'll just start with Moss and come this way.
Should I name all of every-
No. One,
pick one.
and we're gonna talk.
Okay.
You're gonna explain why it's
Can
overrated.
I explain something first?
You're gonna explain every single one.
No, not every single one. My list consists of a lot of games that the vast majority of them I've played and they're good, but like just because I say something's on this list doesn't mean I think it's a bad game.
You can enjoy. I enjoyed a bunch of games on my list.
Mhm.
These are just overrated. Like it was an okay game. It was a pretty good game, but the allure around it.
Yes. Now, also, before I get lynched, there's a few games on this list that I actually haven't even played. But the reason I have on this list, I will explain. I'll start this off. Number 1 on this list I have is Dishonored. This game came out last year. And it was getting such high praise because it was like, oh wow, a new IP. And everybody was going crazy just because it was a new IP.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game came out and it got good reviews, but it got so much coverage and press for a game that post-release nobody seemed to care about it anymore. And it was just like this
Second one,
hype
both of them.
Whoa.
towards it, and it got good reviews. I think it got I think it got
Just
elevated
like,
to a
you know,
point just
yeah.
because of the time it released,
Yeah.
not necessarily because of the level of quality of the game. Granted, I have not played it.
Bethesda being behind it didn't hurt. They build up the hype train quite a bit. So,
Yeah, now I'm with you.
anybody thoughts on Dishonored?
I still
didn't
want to
have-
play it. I haven't played it.
I don't think it was overrated. I think it was a genuinely
Don't worry
good
about it.
game still.
I borrowed it from Mark for 3 days and gave it back to him.
Really?
I didn't like that game at all.
You didn't like it at all.
No.
Would you agree with the hype pre-release? Like what?
It was hyped, but I've seen way bigger hype
Yeah.
machines going.
For a new IP that, like, I don't understand. Like, it's almost like they were praising it just because it was a new IP. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a fair criticism.
Mark.
Trying to see where I want to start this at. Mirror's Edge.
Whoa.
I can't
Wait,
believe I
wait.
forgot to put that on my list.
Overrated.
Really?
I thought underrated.
No.
I'm going with overrated.
Well, spoilers, we're tackling underrated next week, so
Yeah.
you already have one of yours. Go
Yeah.
ahead, fight it, Mike. Mark.
It really didn't stand up very well as like there were just so many parts of frustration because the controls didn't really match what you wanted to do, because a lot of it was like jump this way, turn around, hit jump again, do that, and for some reason sometimes you jump to the side. Like, the controls really got to me, and I really think that it looked beautiful. It still looks beautiful. It's still a very nice looking game. I couldn't get into the first person platforming.
I hated this game. I got the hype bug from everybody late, because this is a game that got legs later in life. It sold poorly at first. The hype started building around it, and a lot of people went out and grabbed it after the fact.
I was like, oh, free running, cool.
And then I'm like, this doesn't look like my thing. It looks like all anime and whatever, and that's not really my bag. It turned out not to be so. That was just my initial impression of it. But people kept telling me, they're like, dude, you got to play this, dude. You got to play this. I'm like, fine. So I borrowed it from my buddy. Another instance of a game I played for about 30 minutes. I'm like, this game is trash.
I really think the levels, like, they tend to just be the same over levels. I mean, you had, like, the sewers, and then, like, the sewer, like, you remember the sewer level where literally there was just
I only got like 2 or 3 levels into it. And I was like,
yeah,
I
that's
can't
probably
stand
right
this
where you
fucking
stopped.
game.
It was like literally, it's just 25 pillars, and then you have to find a way up them.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wanted to play Mirror's Edge and couldn't because it gave me motion sickness like 2 minutes in.
Mhm.
Like, it's the one game that's triggered it for me more than anything else was Mirror's Edge. I liked the concept behind it, and I enjoyed it for like 5 minutes, but I couldn't play it because anytime you went inside a building, my first reaction was to just turn it off because I couldn't stare at it.
Because they had like motion blur on the sides of the screen when you started to get up to speed.
Yeah, and I can see the concerns about the first person. First person running and jumping is very difficult because first person games don't always give you the best sense of space.
Mhm.
So I can see why it would be a challenge to navigate stuff. I was hoping it would be something that I could play and
I just got bored with the level design as well. It just you run through something, you eventually end up in a building.
Mhm.
You eventually either have to escape that building, you run to another one, you
It repeats.
go into the sewer, whatever,
Rinse and repeat,
go into
rinse and
another
repeat.
building, and that was it for me.
Literally?
Brian, number 1.
In no particular order, right?
No.
Borderlands.
Fuck you.
First
I
one?
liked Borderlands. Either one.
Okay.
I like the Borderlands. I like them in concept. I think they are funny. I think they're fun. But I always lose interest like 2-3 hours in. I don't know if it's the way it's structured, but there's something about it that just like I enjoy it. I think it's fun. But there's something between the fact that like you get a lot of guns that are just not worth it, and you can't carry enough that you can like really hoard stuff. So you wind up having to drop your guns a lot. And I think that was like their intention, but I just don't like. I didn't like playing like that. I think that it's funny, it's fun, it's entertaining, but I just at some point it's like I played for like a few hours, I've cleared out a few missions, I'm done.
Did you play it solo or multi?
I played it multi once, but the person I played with sucked to play with multi.
Oh, okay.
So I played it mostly solo. And I want to go back and play it. I really want to go back and play Tiny Tina, the D&D style DLC. It sounds really fun. And the story is fun and interesting, but
The in between of the story cutscenes
the
and whatever.
in between just does not hold
I
my
can see
interest. The side missions, I wanted to complete every side mission, and I think the side missions kind of take too long, or you can't do like multiple side missions. You kind of have to do one
Because they're in different areas.
Yeah, you
and-
can't really like swoop in and do a bunch of stuff at once, and that kind of kills it for me.
I'm gonna respond to yours and segue into mine all at one time.
Okay.
I'm going to switch my order around since we're talking about it. Mine's Borderlands 2. I loved Borderlands. I've never been so engrossed in an open world game before. I literally did everything that game had to
It's a word
offer.
of the day.
Yeah, but I use it once in a while inappropriately. I did everything in that game. I got so wrapped up in it. Usually I hate stuff like that because it's so distracting. That's why I get upset at sandbox games. Sometimes I like the relaxing nature of a linear game. Like, sometimes the open world games are just too much. It's like on the way to this side quest or quest, I picked up another 15 missions. It's just like...
Blows your mind. Like, where do I start?
It's what screwed me up with Dragon Age a lot.
You would actually hate Saints Row 4. They do that exact same thing.
Yeah,
You do a mission,
it's just
opens
like-
up 5 other ones. A guy I'm watching on YouTube has 15 missions.
It's just like,
side
dude,
missions.
let me do this thing or unlock maybe one more on the way.
No.
Then let me,
No,
it's
they throw 'em
it's
at
too
you.
goddamn much. And Borderlands had it, but I didn't mind it in that game. And then it segues into part 2. I'm not going to go too deep in this. I've talked about why I dislike Borderlands 2 a ton on this show. But it's got more hype, better reviews. People love it more than Borderlands 1, and I don't get it. It's not as good. It's not fun. It got boring quickly. I don't know.
I didn't have my hacked guns to one-shot everything. It's awful.
Borderlands 2, that's my first one.
There you go. Round 2.
Well, really quick.
Jason's
I'm
turn.
not going to discuss mine. I'm going to leave it for people to throw comments in the comment section to tell me how much of an asshole I am.
See if any of the four of us have it.
That's fine.
On our list.
Number 1, Assassin's Creed series.
It's not a game. That's 9 games.
Fine. Then Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah, it's easy to say.
Okay.
Well, I actually don't agree with that at all because I don't think Assassin's Creed 1 is really considered to be a very good game. Does anybody really consider it?
Yeah, it was. It
With the
was.
Assassin's Creed. Well, Assassin's Creed.
It was when it came.
It was
was the
well
big
rated.
one,
2
yeah.
was much better, higher rated. But 1, when it came out, the critics did say it was.
It
decent.
started all this Assassin's Creed bullshit, so that's why I'm
I don't know if I agree with that. I think 2.
It is
I think-
regarded
You
as.
should chime in on the comments section.
I think I had like 7s and 8s.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
Yeah.
It is
probably
regarded
not.
as probably that and Revelations are the low
Revelations.
points.
It's almost like
Garbage.
Uncharted.
I played 1 twice before I played
Uncharted-
Revelations.
Well, that's a good game actually. Well. Look.
Like I said, I'm not going to discuss mine.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what it is.
All right, my number 2, Mario Kart Wii.
Ooh.
It is like the 5th best Mario Kart game in my opinion. Like, and it sold like 78,000 billion.
Trillion gazillion.
Yeah,
Quintillion.
squared. Like,
Quadrillion.
And that was North America. We're not even counting the rest of the world.
That was a lot of it.
it was I felt like it was a good party game ish stuff, but like I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it as much as Mario Kart 64, Super Nintendo's Mario Kart.
After Double Dash, it was a step back to just.
I didn't even really care for Double Dash much.
But in comparison,
there was nothing special about it, and I don't know why it got like sort of sucked into the Wii phenomenon.
it's still selling.
Yeah.
Did it have online play at all or no?
No.
That's a mistake.
And you couldn't even do, I think.
Well, Double Dash had LAN
I
play.
don't even
Did
think
he
you could have
LAN
done
play?
like multiplayer, like GPA. What's it called? The Grand Prix mode.
Uh-huh.
I don't even think you could have done that. You couldn't do 2-player like through that.
That's
You could
That's
do
kind of
like
a-
test
yeah.
modes, but it wouldn't count towards like a lot.
Mhm.
I don't even remember. It was not. Yeah. Mario Kart Wii.
Not worthy of using your memory.
No, it was a mediocre Wii game. That
Not to mention horrible motion controls.
with the Wii wheel,
Mm-hmm.
great peripheral. Anybody else have down their list, by the way?
no.
If
Oh,
you guys say one of mine, I'm gonna switch it up so we can all
I
talk
am
about
too,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd like to see if like how many of us put the same game. Has anybody put anything that any of us have put?
We don't know yet.
We did
I
the
don't know
Borderlands
yet.
one.
Oh.
We both had the
Well, no,
Borderlands.
I have Borderlands 2.
Well,
Those are different games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was either one for me.
Well, I will mention if you guys, if yes.
Yeah, and we can
Mark.
chime in and do that. Grand Theft Auto 4.
On my list.
Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yep.
Overrated. It had one memorable mission for me. Like, today, I'm thinking back on it. I remember the multiplayer. Story-wise, I just remember the bank heist. I really don't
I don't even remember that.
See,
I don't
that
think I
was
got that
cool.
far.
I thought they did one good mission. One great mission, I should say. The other ones were, not memorable.
Damn it.
When the single one.
I'm upset you brought this one up, and I'm upset you brought it up so early. This was the one I was going to save for the end, for the end-all be-all. This is the most overrated game of the generation, in my
No
opinion.
way.
False.
You are clearly missing games if you think this is the most overrated.
This game is got an insanely high Metacritic. Everyone
98,
gave it
yes,
10s.
critically, yeah. But
Everyone loves this game. It's the expansion sold ridiculously well. The game is not fun.
No.
Nico Velke or whatever the fuck his name. Terrible.
Velke?
What's his name?
Bellic.
Bellic.
Bellic. I haven't played it in years. He's not an enjoyable character. The fucking going out on stupid dates like. Let me take my girlfriend bowling, and then you're sitting in that. It's awful. It's,
Hey, I pulled a
it's-
300, all right?
well, let me ask you something. So when this game came out, it got amazing reviews.
Yes.
So,
Its
like, almost
Metacritic score is 98 still.
But when you look at people who are just video game fans, nobody really regards this game as a very solid game. So it's critically overrated, but commercially, I don't really think
Well,
it's
it's so
very.
I actually think
Wow.
Grand Theft Auto has a good legacy sales as well, though, because
Yeah,
that's
it
another one
does.
I do have sales on.
Well,
every week.
that's going on with GTA 5 right now. It's like a 96 or a
Yeah,
It's
95.
98.
right there
It's
with
98. They're
but
tied.
that's critical.
They're tied as of like
but
an
that's
hour ago.
critics, and the users are down in the 80s,
That might
and they're
be
making a big deal
backlash.
about it.
Well, I guess there's multiple ways to view things as overrated.
That's what it's me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah,
I-
that makes sense.
I
Critically,
like-
it's overrated. Yeah.
a lot of these games I enjoyed a lot. This is a game I did not enjoy at all. This was just a bad game.
Agreed.
I don't care what anybody says. It's visually terrible. It controls like junk. The cars are atrocious. The missions are boring and forgettable, like Mark said. There's really no pluses to this game. It was not the big deal. And this is what kept me from buying GTA 5. That game left such a sour taste in my mouth. I didn't get... Now everybody's telling me GTA 5 fixed a lot of those problems. It's a lot better. So I may go back and grab it.
Tony, come home.
But this is why I haven't gotten it. This game left such a sour taste in my mouth. It's ridiculous.
I've never liked any of the Grand Theft Auto games.
Grand Theft Auto 3 was awesome.
Didn't like
Yeah.
it. I didn't like it's not the content that bothered me. It's the controls. I've never liked the way it controls. It's always felt
But
wrong to me. The only time I liked Grand Theft Auto, I played Vice City and I played a game called Fashion Police, where I found a hammer and anybody who was wearing really garish clothing, I smacked upside the head and kept walking.
see, Grand Theft Auto is different though with GTA 3. That game
It was
changed.
revolutionary. It was revolutionary.
changed video game.
What they did was technically very, very, very amazing. Especially on the PS2, which was
That game
Crab
invented sandbox.
Yes, well, it
Yeah.
refined it. I don't know that it invented it, but it did refine it. Because if you could look back at old school RPGs that were as open as they could be at the time, and even the original Grand Theft Auto had some kind of sandbox elements to it, but
The 3D sandbox.
they absolutely refined it in Grand Theft Auto 3. They absolutely brought it out and made it something new and made it its own genre. I will say that. And from a technical standpoint, it's a very amazing thing. But I've never liked the way the cars handled have always felt wrong to me. The way the characters move has always felt wrong to me. The aiming was always a frustration for me. So I played GTA 3 because everyone's going nuts. GTA 3 is the best game ever made. Yeah. Couldn't get into it. Vice City came around. I played it at a girlfriend's house because she had it. Didn't see the appeal besides...
Soundtrack.
The soundtracks were amazing.
Soundtrack are great.
I remember having the soundtrack in the back of our games and wanting it so bad, but it was like $70
Vice
or
City
something
was
crazy like that.
amazing.
It was good. And it is funny. There's some clever stuff in there.
I'm gonna torrent that.
But I've never gotten into the actual gameplay. The only reason it's not on my list is because I never played them. I've not played any of the current ones because I say to people, does it play the same? It plays, yeah, it's the same. Don't waste my time.
3 to San Andreas played all the same.
Yeah.
4 got this. See, I actually liked the driving on that because you could just e-brake around everything and it was cool. But 4, I hated it because the driving was awful. It was clunky and why
It's
do I
like
have
it's
an
like
e-brake?
either be
'Cause-
realistic or be fun and arcadey.
Yeah.
And
Saints
Grand
Row.
Theft Auto, that Saints Row is fun and arcadey.
Yeah.
Or be serious.
Yeah.
Make the cars cool then and have everything be realistic. Don't be in this weird lazy port in the middle where you're not really doing either one really well.
Yeah, I mean, and I spent half the game weaving around traffic, not necessarily because I'm impatient, but because I can't get the car to move where I want it to go. It drove me nuts. I couldn't do it.
With really quick, with 5, they've taken the gameplay mechanic of Midnight Club, their racing game, and
put that
implemented that into the driving mechanic. So it feels solid.
I see. I've never played a Midnight Club game,
Yeah.
but
It's like Burnout.
there's another game on my list that has kept me from playing GTA 4 or 5. We'll get to that.
Next.
Oh,
Who
is it
just
me?
went?
Yeah, Brian, keep talking.
Okay.
I just took up everyone's
this
like
is-
one
this
of
is
theirs.
not that game. Batman Arkham City.
That's
Get
on my
out.
list too.
Okay,
I
quickly. I'm going to go next.
okay.
Grand Theft Auto 4. Let's back up to you.
So,
So the
sorry.
second round is done. No,
Okay.
no. Just for that one, because I want to get Grand Theft Auto, because Arkham City's on my list too.
Okay.
Arkham City's on my list.
So
too.
I'll
I hate
utilize.
all of you. Get out of my house.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing about Arkham City. I still played through the whole game. I don't think it's a bad game, but I think there are a lot of flaws that people are willing to overlook because it's Batman. And if it had been not Batman, I don't think people would have put up with some of them. The dialogue is terrible, especially when you play as Catwoman. It's just repetitive, bitch, 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 which gets old really fast. Even when it's not Catwoman, everyone in that game is a creep. I don't know, like so all the characters just really weirded me out. I'm talking about like the incidental characters, not the villains.
Yeah.
The controls just never felt right to me in that one. I always wanted to jump, and I couldn't jump. It was that auto jump thing.
Run to the ledge.
Yeah, but you still had to run. You know, Zelda didn't have Zelda had the auto jump, but it also had the auto run. Batman did not have that.
Yeah, but it's also forgivable. That was back in the day.
What, the Zelda one or the Batman
Zelda
one?
one. Batman's fucking 2 years old.
Yeah,
You can't fucking jump.
yeah. It's
Was this Gears of War?
Yeah. And I always felt that the combat was overly complicated.
No
Not the
ledge,
simple
go!
stuff. Yeah, I feel that like using the gadgets in combat was overly complicated. Just fighting people, you could do no problem. You know, the parry and the attack, that made sense. But when you wanted to do like use the explosive, you had to like hold L1 and then triangle and square and then tap L2. No, it's too much. You had to like contort your hands in a way that they were not meant to move. That drove me nuts. So those things, yeah, like, those are like really weird things that I don't get why people don't complain more about.
All right. For me, with Arkham City, I agree with a lot of that. It's to me, I tried restarting this game like 5 times. I don't care.
Give me your copy.
I've loved.
You'll lose it again.
I loved Arkham Asylum. I couldn't put that game down because that thing went totally under my radar.
Yeah.
I picked it up at GameStop for like $15 pre-owned, put it in, and couldn't put it down for a week
And
until
it
I
had a
completed
jump button, didn't it?
until I completed
No? I didn't
everything.
notice.
And then I was so excited for Arkham City, and I tried restarting it over and over and over. I just don't care. It's like, you know, it's very familiar with movies. You ever seen? Because even the trailer for Arkham City was awesome. You know those movies where the trailer ruins everything?
Yeah.
Like all the best parts were already in the trailer. I feel like that's what they did with Arkham City.
Oh no.
Like I play, and like all the coolest spot. Like it's mediocre fucking gameplay, terrible cutscenes. Then you get to one cool cutscene, and it's from that trailer that sold you.
Yeah.
Then you go back to mediocre gameplay, that same free flow fighting, blah blah blah, and you get to another cutscene that was really cool in that trailer. It's just like, I don't know.
See, I was, because this was also my list, it was the free-flowing combat that kept me going, because it was really cool to get long combos and just start jumping around.
Fucking Andy.
And
150.
150, wow, that's
Seriously?
ridiculous. And that was what kept me
What do you
going,
like?
is because
You
I
do, like, health
enjoyed,
potions in between
the combat.
How do you do that?
Nobody hit him.
I liked the boss
Wow.
fights, you know, jumping
I
around,
mean,
avoiding
hitting-
them, stuff like
hitting the
that.
enemies health.
It was everything in between that I didn't really care about. There wasn't, the Joker trophies got so ridiculously
Yeah, I
hard,
agree.
in my
Riddler.
They
opinion.
weren't even fun to get.
I
Riddler
didn't
trophies,
even
yeah.
want to try to
Yeah,
get
the
them.
Riddler trophies.
Yeah.
Not Joker.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about the teeth.
Yeah, the first game,
first
that's the
one,
other
yeah.
thing. The first game was fun. I wanted to track all those down, and I did. The second one was just like, this is stupid.
I think the reason.
Really
Sorry,
quick,
go ahead.
if I can chime in and agree with you guys, I think where Arkham City made the mistake is they opened it into an open world. If they would have kept it very linear, like the first game was, and you were on a set path with the same story and the same elements that they
It probably would have been a lot better and cleaner.
Because I'm telling you, if once you focus and just do the story, you've completed it, right, Brian?
Yes, the story is good.
Great story.
Yes.
Great story. One of the best endings in a video game that I've seen in years.
Yeah, there were weird things like the whole Gotham Underground thing. I liked the actual area, but I thought it was like, really? There's like a giant city that everybody forgot that's under the whole city.
We have one here.
But it's not that huge.
No.
I mean, that
We're also
that
talking about a universe where there's, crocodile men.
I know, but it like that's a lot of wasted space on there, guys, and it seems like it's in good shape. Maybe you should use it. And the
What's
whole
being used?
barely.
By robot ninjas.
By like 8 robot ninjas and like 3 other people, and then like just the whole concept of being the city. The whole like we were toward half the city into a prison. Who voted for that? Come on,
I agree.
It was silly.
ridiculous.
But, and I think the reason I missed the jump mechanic was because everything was vertical in that game, whereas Arkham Asylum was more horizontal with some vertical stuff. What are you looking for? There we go, pen. So I think that's why you missed a jump button in Arkham City, whereas you don't miss an Arkham Asylum.
I appreciate. Yeah,
vertical.
I agree. I appreciate the linear story and progression, as opposed to the open world.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2, Grand Theft Auto 4. Number 3.
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
How dare you! Go ahead.
And let me be perfectly clear, because I know I drastically differ with Tony on this. This has nothing to do with the controls. Because I like the controls. Just the game is just not as good as it's made out to be. It's a good game. It's fun. It's probably one of my favorite Wii games, but it's probably one of my least favorite 3D Zelda games. There's just too much padding, too much stuff that's in the main quest that shouldn't be in the main quest.
Like the 2-hour intro.
Yeah. Too many.
It's like Harry Potter. We're in school.
Way too much. Too many tutorials. And
They really handhold you nowadays.
They really do.
The first one was like, it's
And
dangerous to go alone. Take this.
That's your
Figure it out.
and that's not even required.
Now it's
you
like,
have to go
did,
to the cave.
did you forget how to roll? Be sure to push this button. And then it'll pop up later again. It's like, leave me the fuck alone. Let me play the game.
See, it's the one Zelda I haven't played, and I want to play it.
No.
I have it.
No.
I would highly recommend it to anybody, but
But the talk of the super tutorials does scare me because
It's 3 hours.
I was tired of it in Wind Waker and in Twilight Princess because like every time you got a key, you could use it to open a door. Fucking thank you. Yeah, I got it. There's 600.
Is that why you use keys?
Keys are open doors? I use it to padlock things.
Yeah, like I get it the first time. Like this is the boss key. It opens the boss door. You might need to be told that. But like on the 8th dungeon, I don't need to be reminded that it's the fucking boss key, man. I got it. It's got horns. I'll do it.
The Wind Waker had a bad intro. It was too long.
It didn't bother me in Wind Waker. It did take a while to get to the action. It didn't bother me as much as Wind Waker.
Okay, Skyward Sword it bothers me.
Is it? Okay. I haven't played it, so I can't say. Go ahead.
But in the Wii U version, you can skip the intro.
And Wind Waker?
Yes.
Really?
Well, that 10-minute intro
I don't get it
cutscene.
until it comes out on disc, but
It's not really 10 minutes. It's like a 6-minute cutscene or something like that.
Yeah, you can skip
But even
storyline, but
even
that's okay.
Twilight
That's
Princess,
6 minutes
even
is okay.
Twilight Princess started like that, had that 10-minute like, oh, opponent ran off, go quickly, run through the thingy and go find her.
Yeah.
But she's at the lake drinking, and what do you want to name her? And fucking bring her back. It's just like, dude, just
You
start.
name her Epona.
Start the game.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Slow intros.
They should start a game right outside a dungeon, like Link wakes up from being like unconscious and be like, Link, you gotta go, rescue, and then just some random character in the forest temple or whatever, and then just right there.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that'd be pretty.
That would
cool.
blow people's minds.
Link to the Past was that.
Yeah,
that was exactly what a Link to the Past
yeah.
was. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woke up hearing a voice and you just
So Skyward Sword was too slow to start, too tutorial based, but the ending of the game, the last third of the game, just too much stuff that's
Doesn't need to be there.
after you beat the last dungeon before the last of the main quest dungeons before the final area.
Right.
there's like a 3-hour period in there where you're just doing overworld stuff, going from place to place, retracking land you've already been to.
That you have to do? It's not like side quest stuff?
No, it's required.
Oh, okay.
They
I don't mind side quest
shifted
stuff,
the
but,
land
yeah.
a little bit, so it's hard to explain, but you're not meeting any new characters. You're not really doing anything new. There's no new enemies. It's just these quests to make the game longer. That could have been done in side quests, but
I think that's like one of the 2 home Zeldas I never beat was Skyward Sword. I just ran out of steam going through that game.
It's a 40-hour game. Man.
I got 5 hours. I was like, I can't do
Well,
this
if
anymore.
you're only 5 hours in, then you've missed it. Because then you've missed the game. Because it gets good from like 15 hour to the 10 to 25 hour mark is good.
I'm sure years from now I'll go back and I'll have the patience to do it.
I don't think you will.
Yeah, well.
I don't think you will.
I think it just gets worse.
Andrew Dillon, mark it. Mark it. It's a bet.
Moss's Skyward Challenge.
I hate this thing.
Okay. We're doing this.
I don't want to die.
This is a long term.
Somebody
This is
give me
5
a
years.
week.
This is a long term one.
Yeah, this is the long deal, the long pass.
All right.
Really
Skyward
quick.
Sword.
All right.
Really quick, Mass Effect.
We're not gonna explain that one. I'm gonna use mine. My 3 Batman Arkham City. So there you go.
My 3 are, or no, sorry, it's your turn. Go ahead.
My turn. Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Horrible game.
I really
You
like.
think so?
Yes. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 1. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Hi.
What's up, Mark? You look real different. Did you like?
I told you just pull up a 5th fucking
They've
chip.
never seen the front of your
what?
face.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, no, that's why I shifted. You're right, because this is how you're supposed to face the camera. That's why I wanted. We had talked about doing a different arrangement of the table. It just didn't work. You're supposed to
I've
face the
sat here
camera
before.
like this. So here's the thing about Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The visuals are fine. My problem is the control scheme. Capcom has done this thing where they try to simplify their versus games, and it's gotten to the point where it's too simple, in my opinion. They kind of went the not the Guilty Gear, but the Blaze Blue route and the Arc System Works route, where each character has 3 attacks or 4 attacks, whatever. I think it's 3 attacks and a special button or something like that now.
delete some of the marks.
And I think it's taking it too simple. I think fighting games can be simpler,
Bullshit.
but it's gotten to the point where it's like you don't know what the buttons are going to do until you study the character. And I feel that in a fighting game, you should know that every character has a standard. I've said this before. So there should be some standard set of moves, like fast punch, slow punch, fast kicks,
High kick,
high
mid
kick,
kick,
high
low
kick,
kick.
mid kick, something along those lines, so that there's some common ground between all the characters. That's a starting point to learn from, so that you can branch out and play any character. You don't have to spend 6 weeks learning every character's moves to
That's
get them.
true.
Because you know this is how
Because
you high punch with everyone.
You know high punch. So you have some idea that, well, if attack goes high, I can counter this low attack. And that's not how Marvel vs. Capcom 3 works. It's ABC or something along those lines, just like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom was. I didn't like it there either.
I actually think that's one of the positives of the game. The fact
Really?
that every character plays differently. It's really hard to just. You can be great with one character and you throw
You're
some.
terrible with someone else.
Yeah, it's not like
but you have
Mortal
to
Kombat
study.
or
You have to
something
study all of them to the
No
point
steal
where
your
like
sweaters.
you can't be great at that
I don't
game.
have any.
I shouldn't even say great. You can't be competent at that game
Competent.
unless you really study the characters.
Yeah.
So it makes it at the same, like I think they were trying to simplify it to make it easier for people to pick up, and I think that actually made it harder to get into, in my opinion. I can see where you're coming from. It does because there's such a vast array of characters that it does make sense that
Like sliding on my shoulders.
Amaterasu from Okami wouldn't play the same as a Sentinel.
Yeah.
That does make sense,
Rocket Punch.
but at the same time,
Destroy.
they're so different that you need to find a way to put some common ground to make it playable, in my opinion. That's how I felt about it.
Cool.
What's up?
My number 3, Arkham City. Number
They're
4.
just fucking up your list, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
sorry.
been able to.
You did one.
I'm on my.
The first one.
Oh, I've already said some of the ones that. Well, whatever. I will continue. Number 4 for me.
Oh, so nice.
New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
I haven't been able to say one on my own yet.
You want to go?
No, go ahead.
It is a good game,
It's an excellent game.
and that's it.
Mm.
Like it's
Nothing radical, nothing new, nothing. They were like
Very
adding.
little new.
They added shit just to add shit. I didn't like.
well, this,
I'm fucking Nintendo's biggest critic with Mario. I love Mario. Like it's the game that got me to game, and I even became okay because when the first branching off happened with it not being, because I'm a huge side-scrolling platformer fan. The first branch off, I was upset, and I played it, and I enjoyed it, and I liked. I eventually came to terms with them going in two different directions with the side-scrolling and the 3D universe ones, and then I began to appreciate it. I was actually happy that they started doing that, but there was a long lull in the side-scrolling one, and then they finally came back to it, and it just. I'm not happy about the upcoming one on the Wii U either. It doesn't look.
The one that's already out?
Did it come out?
It was a launch title.
No.
Oh, Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
It's like a 2.5D. It's weird.
I'm scared. I'm scared. And this one, I agree. It's a good game, fun. It works perfectly like every Mario platformer has ever, because every Mario platformer is nearly perfect. Jumping's amazing. The spacing, the where the enemies turn up, it's brilliant. How they always seem to do it perfectly.
They've got to have a formula. They have to have a formula.
Something, yeah. And then just something, I don't know. It's insane how, like, even back then on the first ones, there was running at full speed and perfectly jumping. They just knew you had to have that proper speed to land on this one little thing.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing what they did.
Yeah.
And they continue to this day. And so there's nothing mechanically wrong with the new Super Mario Brothers. It's just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I actually don't think the controls were as perfect as possible because I actually
They're a little more slippery in New Super Mario Brothers.
it has
right?
to do with the fact that the D-pad on the Wii is so small, and you don't get the same feel as you did with the classic
true.
games.
Yeah.
Because if you play on the Wii U, the new Super Mario Bros.
It's
Wii U,
good.
it's so much better.
Yeah.
But only if you're the first player and you're on the gamepad. I don't know if you've ever played.
You'll suffer playing off the Wii.
I have the Pro controller, but I haven't really.
That's the same thing. The D-pad.
Yeah, it's
but
full size.
Have you ever played it two
On the
players?
Wii remote? No, absolutely
It's
not.
the same slipperiness.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird. Like, I think it's the size of the D-pad.
I absolutely could see that being the case.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but that's a minor, you know. But it's fun and it's a great party game. That's really what I thought of New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
But it's not
I had no motivation
Yeah.
really to get. I've only played I like 100%ed the first 4 worlds, and I never beat the game like by myself. We played through like World 7, I think,
I played
multiplayer,
through
but like
the original New Super Mario Brothers for DS.
yeah,
All the way through it. 100%ed it, or very close to it. None of the other ones have I done that.
Yeah, I did the same thing actually.
Yeah.
That one was it was
Well, it was
new.
Yeah, it was new.
It was
And
new
that
old stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Mark, number 4? What are we on?
This is
Yeah,
actually
we're-
perfect. Halo 4.
Ah, on my list too.
Yeah, I usually love to do their campaigns, and I had such a trouble getting into it. I think it was like I didn't care for the enemies. I was just some of the weapons I just didn't even like. Multiplayer, too many people were getting the power weapons. Yeah, I felt like every death was from a power weapon. It just seemed. I think it was just bad balancing on certain maps as well. Like certain teams just had such an advantage too.
Multiplayer, I didn't enjoy it at all. I played it for about a month. I probably put about 30, 40 hours into the multiplayer. Probably played, I don't know, you can check my record online, maybe like 150 games of it. It just wasn't as good as... I didn't play Reach. I played Halo 3 a lot.
I'd rather do Reach or Halo 3.
I don't know. And they didn't launch with the ranking system with
They changed it.
Why was that not available?
I think it's because I think they wanted to see what the community wanted when it launched. Because otherwise, it's not like it would take that long to implement.
The thing I really liked about Halo 3 and in particular Halo 2 is the number you get, the level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was based on skill, not on like Call of Duty, which is just based on just your the amount of times you've played, more or less. So I didn't get addicted to the multiplayer like I did 2 and 3, and I think it was overrated at launch. Granted, I think the masses they
Masses!
Got him good.
jokes.
That's what the peanut gallery's here for, okay?
They they don't. It doesn't have the longevity that Halo 2 and 3 did. That seems pretty clear. But yeah.
Okay. I don't have much to contribute. I like Halo 4. It's
Multiplayer.
I like all of it. It's one of the worst Halos that has come out.
Overrated.
But I don't think it's overrated either because it's the one that gets the most shit. That and ODST. They're the two that the fans bash the most.
Yeah, but this goes back to the Grand Theft Auto argument. Commercially, fans bash Halo 4, but the critics loved it, which is the same thing I think
And it
of
still
GTA
sold very
4.
well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It's not like it was a failure.
Yeah.
It's not like Beyond Good and Evil or something.
It's very
like that.
similar
Yeah.
to GTA 4, where critics loved it.
Mhm.
Fans, looking back at it, don't really seem to like it,
Mhm.
but it sold very well.
And I love the campaign in Halo 4. I think it was excellent. So
So me.
number 4.
Number 4, LA Noire. I really wanted to get into LA Noire because I wanted to give Rockstar another chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I never got into Grand Theft Auto, and this was something I was like, well, this is going to be different. Maybe this will be different because it's a different game. They're talking about all the getting the better story and the actors and focusing more on that. So I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to give this a shot. And it felt to me like they didn't fix it. It seemed like it was using the same engine for the driving and stuff like that for movement. So I couldn't get into that part of the game. And there's a lot of drive, and you could let your partner drive, which is helpful.
Yeah.
And kind of alleviates that issue. But the issue for me was like everything felt overacted to me. The whole point of the game is you're supposed to catch the subtle clues in the way that the characters act. And like, he can't be this obvious. This is not subtle at all. It's like, I didn't kill him. How dare you? Just like it was too much for me. And when you're trying to catch someone in a lie, they're so obviously lying that I'm like, come on, he's got to just have like a facial tick or something. He can't be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. It was too much for me. So I felt like the thing that they're making a big deal about, they failed at. And then on top of that, like when you're chasing people down, this guy stole, so shoot him and kill him.
Yeah.
Seriously, shoot him and kill him? You want to apprehend him, man. You're supposed to be a cop, not like Dirty Harry. I mean, I guess maybe you are Dirty Harry. I don't know.
You're Dirty Harry.
Well, isn't the time period the 50s?
It's the late 40s. I think it's right after World War II. So like the late 40s.
Maybe that era was different.
Or maybe it was...
Just shoot him dead.
Well, it is LAPD. They run off their
they were
own
very
fucking
corrupt.
rules.
They were very corrupt.
He stole that
Yeah.
apple. Kill him.
But-
Oh, wait, no, he had a receipt.
Yeah,
Too late.
but it just felt to me like they didn't take what they were saying about the game to heart. It still felt very gamey to me. It didn't feel like it was supposed to be... they said it was going to be different. It didn't feel like it was different to me. So for me, it was a letdown. People liked it. It sold pretty well, right? And
Yeah,
critically
still sells pretty good.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, you promised the moon and did not deliver. Like, even halfway.
I didn't play LA Noire, so I have no contribution.
Okay.
No, I mean, I agree with you on that one. Like, some of the time, they did give me a few times, because there were certain missions where they would make the visual cues obvious it was somebody, and it was actually the other person. So there's a few, I don't know, did you beat it all?
No,
There's a few missions
I
where
played through a few interrogations and got really
they
like,
mess with
hard.
you after
Do they
the end.
after a while? Okay. Because to me, it was like, you're sitting there, and this guy's like... I remember there's something like where some guy shoots the guy at the shoe store or whatever. That's like the second or third interrogation. And he's sitting there, like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's looking up, and like
Yeah. I think those are also
telegraphing the
more
hell
like,
out of it.
tutorial missions as well. So,
It-
like I said,
you know,
as they got
yeah.
farther into the game, I started making more mistakes.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's on me, but I felt like early on they were telegraphing it too much, and it made it too obvious
Yeah.
to the point where I couldn't take it seriously.
My number 4, New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Number 5.
Wii Sports.
Interesting.
Wii Sports. 5 games with Wii Sports. Bowling and baseball were... boxing and baseball were crap. I don't think anybody ever cared about it.
I liked golf and bowling.
I actually like baseball,
Yeah.
but I was pissed
And
it was only
tennis
3
fun.
innings.
Yeah.
It was
Because
The
then we used to
baseball
hit
was too
homers.
small.
Be
There
like,
was nothing going on there. Yeah, the
that's
baseball
all it is.
wasn't
3
enough.
innings and then you're gone.
too bland. Boxing was not...
No, boxing.
It was
I
not
responsive
did
enough.
once maybe.
Yeah.
Bowling I did hundreds of times though.
Bowling, the game was all about bowling,
Yeah, it's just been
golf,
Wii
and
Sports
tennis.
bowl.
Yes.
That was the game.
The tennis only multiplayer.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
go with that. And even the tennis was kind of broken because there was
Yeah,
like
because of the lag.
well,
It wasn't until the because there was a problem with the Wii original Wii. Oh, sorry to interrupt. If you want to.
well,
yeah.
I think it was kind of broken because there was too many like unreturnable shots. Like
Okay.
if you got it,
Mhm.
So it was like one of those games where you can master it in like 2-3 hours of play. I don't think anybody really played that game that extensively. Like it was like casual with their friends here and there. So like to me, it was Wii Golf was amazing.
Mhm.
I loved Wii Golf, and like I said, they never, I thought, capitalized on that. Like I said in part 1 of the podcast, which you can click below to check out.
Definitely, there'll be a link.
There no damn links.
We'll be right here.
Yeah, right here. Make a box right here. He's never gonna do that.
No.
And now move it over here.
Mark can very easily go
And
into YouTube and do them
Star
himself.
White.
Like they could have capitalized with Wii Golf, like an
Check out this
expansion.
shooting star.
More so than just Wii Sports.
Drags across screen.
Like more so than what Wii Sports Resort did. I think that was a little too late.
Yeah.
You know, they could have done it more immediate, and I don't know. I think it's a great game. It sold the Wii, really. That was the game. It was a mainstream phenomenon. But it was a good game, but not you know, when I think of the best Wii games, that's not in my top 10.
Okay.
Kirby Epic Yarn, what?
It sold the system, but
It didn't,
it didn't sell anything else.
It didn't sell me.
Yeah.
All right,
So you.
number 5-ish.
By the way, that was like my number 7 because
We've
some
done
of
some
mine
turns.
have already been said.
Yeah, that's what we just kind
You're
of.
supposed to utilize those on turns.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna skip like 4 in a row.
We got Max Payne 3. I think it's got like an almost 90 Metacritic score.
A lot of Rockstar games on this.
I thought that was okay.
I didn't like it. Like the cutscenes, I just got it after the first 2 missions. He's an angry drunk and he's gonna go protect some rich people. I didn't need 10-minute cutscenes.
The first 2 or 3 were excellent when you were getting into it. And then, like you said, it was
Yeah.
just like, all right, I get
Yeah,
it. The
that's what
guy's angry. He's drunk all the
He's got
time.
painkillers again. Okay,
He's essentially fucking
it's a sad
Bruce
sack.
Willis in Die Hard. I get
Yeah.
it.
It had really good shooting mechanics. I mean, it's the reason shooting in Grand Theft Auto 5 is so good is it is directly it's just a port from Max Payne 3, which did well. But yeah, other than that, there's nothing too special about it for me.
Okay.
I guess the Rockstar games they're always played up very heavily, and anything below that I think makes it a little bit of disappointment.
On to me. Little Big Planet.
Thought about doing that one too. I just missed my cut.
Conceptually, I think it's very interesting, but I hate the controls to that game. That game, like, it always overcorrects and always goes too far. Like, there's too much inertia to the characters. I know some people will say, well, it's more realistic. Maybe it is.
It's too floaty.
It's very floaty, and I don't like it. And I couldn't get into it because it always felt like it was just, it wasn't gonna. I don't know. It bothered me. I conceptually get it. I think it's a very interesting concept. I've given it as gifts to kids.
Take this crappy game.
No. I mean, I bought it like new for my niece for her birthday.
controls.
But because I like the idea of building levels and stuff, and I think it's good, the creativity side of things. But the controls to me just seem like not good enough for it to get the praise that it does. I think that it's great that they built a game that lets you create these interesting worlds, and that Sackboy is an interesting character
So,
that's very good at
it's
being
over there.
messed with. But
what?
the controls just aren't there.
What do I have there?
Didn't play
It's
it.
not yours.
Uh-huh.
I agree with the floaty aspect of it because there was many a time where I
Mine is
fell
white. You left
when I
it
probably
last
shouldn't
week.
have, just
I stole
because
it
he
last
did
week.
that extra step and walked off the edge, and
From
yeah.
last week.
Because I buy white.
But the saving point for that is the community on that one is
It's
just
a
been
great community.
great
Yeah.
community game, one of the best
From a-
PlayStation's had. So
From a creative aspect, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But from a game aspect, it's broken.
Hey,
yeah,
do I finally get to do an original
This
response?
is number 5.
What do I choose? Holy shit balls.
If there's anything on my list you want to pull, but I don't
Yes,
think there's going to be.
Let's kick it off with Far Cry 2.
oh that's easily
People love that game. It's like a really hard game to find pre-owned. Not insanely hard.
I'm just going to cross off my whole list.
Oh no, don't mind me.
It's not fun. The story sucks. The
I was
shooting
okay with the story.
the shooting's
actually.
really good.
It
Actually,
was the getting to the missions. And the
Everything's
mandatory
so far.
stops to kill the people chasing you because they would just kill you.
they made the game big just for the sake of being big.
Yep.
And it's just repetitive landscapes. You're in a different area, but it's like, oh, the tree's on the right now instead of the left, which is like the area I just left. Like,
Yeah.
just making it big for the sake of making it big does not
Because it wasn't a fun world
Enthrall
to
you.
travel in.
It's just forest.
Just
and shit.
Cause 2, huge world, fun to travel in. It's usually pretty freaking easy too, because they give you a lot of different ways of doing it. You had to run, or you had a car that would get shot at every 2 or 3 minutes from checkpoints.
Yeah, I didn't like Far Cry 2.
I didn't either.
That's all.
My 5 was GTA 4, since I now know how this programming works.
This works. Alrighty, my next one would be Metal Gear Solid 4.
Interesting.
Overrated. I
It was a good game.
couldn't
Had a lot of flaws, but it was a
couldn't
good
get
game.
into the controls. The controls were the biggest side effect for me.
Did you like the previous Metal Gears, or did you not play them?
Oh, I picked up the HD, and I thought the controls were some of the worst I've played a stealth game with, but it's because they didn't utilize... But, I mean, the older ones, they didn't utilize the second stick, so, I mean,
Right.
that's just, it's just me not being used to it, because, back in the day, you had one stick, so that was fine, but then, you got two, now going back is hard, so
Well, Metal
that's why
Gear
I blame
Solid
more
2,
myself,
The
so...
controller had 2 sticks, they just didn't utilize them.
Exactly.
For 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1, yeah, they just had a D-pad and they had no choice.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fine.
When-
I actually enjoyed the original, the top-down Metal Gears more than any Metal Gear I've played so far.
When did you play Metal Gear Solid 4? Recently?
No, it would have been when I first picked up my PlayStation 3, 2010 or 11, I guess.
Okay.
So it was
'Cause
that
was
one
11.
cycle. Yeah.
That was a 2000.
I think it was 11. I
Seven.
first
7
picked it
or
up.
8 game, yeah.
That was about 6 months after launch, so it is an
Yeah.
older game.
Yeah, so I mean, I wasn't playing right then, so it may have been different, but I just hated the controls on it, and it didn't feel like a traditional stealth game, and it didn't feel like a traditional shooter game, and it fell into this space in between where it wasn't doing either one for my personal taste good enough.
Real quickly, we have time, so we don't have to rush, but we do got to pick up the pace.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay.
What he's saying is hurry the fuck up. You got stuff and things. Stuff and things.
I
We
would
got
say-
time. We could
I would say
discuss.
that
Just
The
we
Bears
gotta-
are gonna
I
play.
enjoyed Metal Gear Solid
Whatever we
4,
thought they were.
but it's not above reproach, and it was a flawed game.
Yeah.
All right, number, what are we on? 6?
Mm-hmm.
Brian.
Gravity Rush on the Vita. A very fun exploration and platform game marred by terrible combat.
I'm like 45 minutes into this game right now, so I don't have much of an opinion. I didn't think I actually like it better than I thought I was going to. I'm not into the super...
It's the Vita system seller, or it was when it came out, when it launched, because Gravity Rush came out like shortly after. But
System
I,
seller.
the combat I did not like. Well, yeah.
I was never into the like super Japanesey things, and that is
It
the
is very
poster boy
Japanese,
for it.
yeah.
So I walked into it with a really low bar, and it actually surpassed it. It's not a great game, don't think it is, but it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm enjoying the bit I've played of it.
The exploration mechanic and the floating around is a lot of fun.
The floating's really cool.
But they limit you too much too soon. I think like it's hard to kind of get things done early on because you can't float and move around that far. But then the combat's really bad. I don't like the combat. So
Yeah.
and there's a lot of it.
It's hard for me to understand that story too, because everything's still going on in Japanese.
But with English text.
Yeah, and you have
Yeah.
a lot of background noise with all the Japanese stuff going on, and you're sitting there trying to read, and it's a lot going on
Yeah.
with the music and the
I didn't play it.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
Okay, back on.
Need it.
What am I on? Me? Ooh.
Yeah. 6.
Come on, Tony. Let's pick up.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Oh, here we go.
You son of a bitch! They
Um,
added
This
the Wingle
game,
feature.
There were brothers in there.
I liked Assassin's Creed 2. It was the first high point and the last high point of the series. They've gotten consecutively worse after that. I'm hearing they finally listened, but they say this all the time, and that the new Pirates one might actually be the Assassin's Creed we've been hoping that Assassin's Creed will turn into for the last 7 iterations.
Don't do it.
I know they do it to me every year. I'll end up buying it, playing it for a little, and get pissed off. I don't get this. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I think actually got a higher score than Assassin's Creed 2 did.
Because it's better.
No, it really wasn't though. I'll fight you about this right now. Go ahead.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Brotherhood had an actual good. That was their last good story, and one of the biggest draws to me was still that they added the guilds. Like you were a part of an assassin's guild, and you never had any members in it.
I
Brotherhood.
hated that. Assassins roll solo. Then you're just a game.
It was a guild. But yeah, it was old school OG game. OG.
OG.
All right.
40 games came to the
But the ability to call in your assassins when you got into a hot mess, we'll call it, is awesome. Like you have them jump. No, cheap. I mean you have them jump in from buildings. Yeah, I mean yes, technically it was cheap because you would have them jump from buildings. Solo assassins.
A way to showcase your lack of fighting skills.
Well, I mean the Assassin's Creed until probably Revelations was hold right trigger and counter. That was their entire fighting.
The combat's broken as shit. You're not going to sell me an Assassin's Creed combat.
No, I mean, that's what you did for the first...
Still is
it changed a little bit, but for the most part, that's all you did. That's the only way you could kill
people. They can learn a lot from Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
Also an Overrated.
Yeah, Batman! The combat from Batman and the platforming from Assassin's Creed.
Golden.
Might actually work well.
Yeah.
Number 7? I'm having a lot of trouble counting to...
I was on
10.
Halo 4. Yeah, this is 7 because I did 5 and then GTA.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go to Assassin's Creed 3. When the hell did your story pick up? I was like 4 hours into it and I was still bored.
I heard it was like 6 or 8 hours into the game.
I gave up after about 4 to maybe 5 hours.
It supposedly gets good. But
supposedly.
How are you going to sit through 10 hours of garbage to get to
I got better things to do. I was bored. I'm like, I don't care about this character.
You could beat a whole nother good game.
It wasn't even the character that they described, too. It was the first guy. Apparently you switched, somebody told me. I was like, oh, that wasn't him? Okay. Boring as crap.
Hey, I had to sit through Uncharted 1 to get to Uncharted 2.
I'll kill your face, dude.
It's on the list.
That's all I got.
All right.
Still start.
Number 7?
I seem to be the only one who's not getting anybody else's so far. Metroid Other M.
Okay, I have to take point with this right away because that game was widely considered to be awful.
Well, but
how can it be overrated?
But there are people who defend it, and B, it got okay ratings.
Both of them.
It got okay ratings, and the complaints that most people have about it are the story.
Well, we could.
My complaint is not the story. The story sucks. My complaint is the controls.
No, a lot of people didn't like the controls.
We can ask our resident Metroid fanatic, Metroid Android, chime in on this once he's done talking. Please let us know your thoughts on Metroid.
I love Metroid games. I've played through all the side scrollers completely. The Prime games get a little tough, but I still enjoyed them. I didn't finish them. Metroid Other M completely fails at that. And it kind of killed the Metroid franchise for Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo's going to make another one for a long time.
I know, because it was such a disappointment.
It was a horrible game. But
but how's it overrated then?
There are people who, if you go and look, people will defend it like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like 1 or 2 people. I'm saying people like, well, it's not that bad. People say, everyone says that people are overreacting about how bad it is. They're not overreacting about how bad it is.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm saying with it.
I think there's so much hate for it, which has caused the people to defend it to spawn up.
That could be. But it fails on every account except maybe visuals. Visually, it's not bad. And maybe it's just because I love Metroid so much. Like it's Metroid and Castlevania are my 2 favorite series, and it falls so far, and it's still sold, and it's still, as far as I know, it did okay, and it's got okay reviews.
Sold over 1 million.
Yeah, and I think it had like 7s and 8s in terms of reviews, right? It didn't get like 2s and 3s or 4s and 5s.
I think it had a couple 6s in there.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it was moderate.
Yeah.
I think no matter how, unless it was rated with like 2s and 3s, it was overrated. No, as far as I'm concerned, overrated.
So you think that was a 2 out of 10 type game?
Oh yes, the controls are so convoluted.
2 out of 10. You're in like Barbie territory. When
you're in Call of Duty Declassified territory.
Look,
yeah,
like every single enemy, even the most incidental enemy, required a different waggle to kill. It was so stupid. Like old school Metroid's like shoot the weak spot maybe. This one's like, well, to kill this one you need to do a chokehold followed by a round kick. So hold down B and then flip the controller vertically and then shake it. But it didn't show it to you on the screen. You had to remember it from the one time they showed you. And every single enemy had a different thing. And then at one point there was a boss fight where you have to look around and find the boss. I looked around that room like 20 times and could not see the boss. Apparently it was like right by your foot to the left or something like that. Unless you pointed at like the right pixel, the boss fight never happened and you were stuck there. And that's where I stopped playing the game. It was critically flawed. Like
2 stars!
Horribly
2 out of
flawed.
10. 2 out of 10
I don't
from
know
Brian.
That will be a 1.
QA, man. I don't know how Nintendo could have let that game ship. When Zelda and Mario are like, don't forget you can press A to jump right before you face Bowser the last time. This game's like, good luck, motherfucker. Who cares? We got your money.
78.55 on game rankings.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Too high.
Much higher rated than it should have been.
There's some 6s, some...
Number 7.
Is it an 8?
No, it's 7.
No, 7.
It's one of
Here's
these-
7.
Resident Evil 5.
You
Fuck you!
son of a
It's
bitch.
6.
It's
It's
5.
6.
It's 5.
6. You
I'm
mother-
with you.
get out.
6.
Resident Evil 5 is atrocious.
6 is not considered a good game.
Oh.
This goes back to
Man,
other.
Tony's
I
in the
had
fight
fun
stand.
in 5.
We're boxing.
Tony's in the fight stand and
Come on.
everything, man.
Come on.
Where is that from? I remember that. Where is that from?
I don't even know.
We should have a slap fight like that later on camera. Just like this. Just like this. I get you. I get you. I hated that game. Fucking. I think I played through it with Angry Andy, if memory serves.
Yeah. That's why it sucked.
Well, that one's 5 is considered a decent game. 6 is considered awful.
6 is
no,
way
but
better.
no, but 6 is fucking
6 is way better.
6 is not considered an awful game. That's the problem. Everybody thought it was gonna suck when it was coming out, and then everybody got, oh, it's good. It's 3 different.
I think you got the wrong way around. People.
No, you do have the wrong way.
Have
around.
Bullshit.
They
Bullshit.
butt sex the 5s and
People
and they
suck
call
this-
6 junk and they're
Exactly.
wrong. They're fucking.
No.
You're wrong. You are wrong. 6 is better than 5.
I agree that everybody hyped 5 and underhyped 6. But then when 6 came out, everybody's like, "Oh, it's the greatest Resident Evil ever!" And it's like, no, it's not, dude.
5's
You're
all
watching-
like-
you're watching.
5's
a
all
fucking,
like,
you're
oh,
watching a movie.
Oh, let's
push
go,
A to
let's
initiate
go,
the movie.
Let's go on these freight cars in this docking thingy, and we'll just shoot at dogs.
Push
Resident
A-
Evil 5. I just spoilered
Okay,
the entire
wait,
game.
Wait. Here's
Awful.
Resident Evil 6, right? There's a cutscene. Walk across the roof to the helicopter. Guess what? Another cutscene. Another cutscene. What just happened?
We just
You're
spoiled 5 and 6 for you. You don't even have to
You're on a
play 'em.
fucking minecart like you're Indiana Jones. Duck. Cutscene. You pop your head back up. Guess what? Oh, you don't shoot nothing. It's a cutscene. Shoot a bitch off a ledge. She falls down. Cutscene. She stands back up. Cutscene. It's what happens. That's how this game works. You don't play it. You watch it.
Then you walk.
Resident Evil 5 game ranking score in the mid 80s.
Well, they're wrong by about 80.
Resident Evil 6 in the low 70s. So
So the hype is more for Resident Evil 5.
yeah,
You
that's
go to
for sure.
hell.
You go ahead and you die!
Resident Evil 6 on the Xbox 360 has an average rating of 69%.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
people hate it. But it's good.
Because
They're
it's
wrong.
garbage.
They're wrong.
It's fucking garbage.
It's okay to be-
right, because Resident Evil 5 is better than 6.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion,
Except Tony.
even when they're wrong.
Yeah.
Chipmunk kicks in right
All
about.
Next. Number 8.
8ish.
Okay, I don't know how this has not been said yet. This is my most overrated game in the entire generation. Minecraft.
Oh, fuck you.
No, I won't give that one to you either.
You know what? I like Minecraft, but it's so slowly paced that it can be maddening.
The amount of time people have put into Minecraft, they could have played like 15 games.
Well, here's the thing. People do some interesting stuff with Minecraft when they're creative. There's people who
Oh,
put
yeah.
like, calculators and
The
like
1% of the,
Yeah.
of the Minecraft
And I
world.
have it on my iPad and I played it for a bit and I enjoyed it. But the problem I have with Minecraft is that I think some of the iPad's not finished. That's part of the problem. But like everything breaks in like 2 seconds. And I've done my tirade on breaking on my site. And if we ever do a Last of Us blacklist, I will go on a tirade about breakable stuff on there too.
Uh-oh. Last of Us.
Tony's
trash talk.
Tony's read it. He knows what my complaints about it. Breakable items are never done right in games, and Minecraft does not do any better. But I still think it's a good concept and it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Mine, because I'm also surprised it hasn't been
Do
said
you have,
yet.
do you have anything to add?
I
I'm
swear
sorry.
to God,
I
if
totally
you
jumped
say
in.
what I think
no,
you're going to say, you're sitting
okay.
next to me.
Sorry.
I've already read your
Yeah.
list. You're sitting next to me. If you say what I think you're going to say, you're getting stabbed.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Good man.
Oh.
Good man. You know which one I'm talking
I
about.
thought you were going to
Yeah.
say Gears of War.
No.
That's my controversial one.
Why
But
is there a big penis on my phone?
I really think the amount of sales Black Ops 2 had.
Is Black Ops 2 the next one?
That's what I'm doing
It was
right
after
now.
Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't play Minecraft, so I don't have.
But-
Yeah, go ahead.
People herald this thing as like the best thing the series has done since like Modern Warfare 2. And I just
Modern Warfare 2's on my list.
I like people just started going through it, and I picked it up. I checked it out from work. I wouldn't pay for it, and it's the same thing. Like they added different modes in multiplayer, and there's more bullshit kill streaks,
It's
like
the
the
same
fucking
shit
robot who
over
has a
and
goddamn
over.
Gatling gun.
There's some dumb shit in multiplayer.
People are saying it was like the best one ever, and I did one multiplayer game and I was done.
It's good.
Would you say that your complaints about Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2 were is that the same complaints about Black Ops
Black Ops 1.
or
the
Modern
rest-
Warfare 3?
I guess. I mean, there's just a bunch of.
Because your same complaints are basically what granted, I played Modern Warfare. That was the only one I played. And then, I only
2
played
is the best
inches-
one.
Little tiny
shit.
pieces.
That was also the last one I bought, and for some reason, even though it was the best one, I never wanted to buy it again.
Garbage.
I've only
I was on the focus test
tiny pieces of the
for-
last few.
Sorry.
But I don't know.
You're on the
All
focus.
right.
I was on the focus test for the Modern Warfare trailer. And I said to them, why does every military thing ever have to have someone shouting, go, go, go? Because in there, go, go, go! Everything was like, go, go, go!
Clearly, they didn't listen to you.
They didn't listen to me.
We didn't listen.
We don't listen!
He's rolling down the road. We didn't listen. So
God,
much
South Park is so good.
The thing that gets to me is that if a military thing happens, there's a go, go, go line in it somewhere. I'm not saying it's not a useful line, but
Oscar Mike.
Move out. Do
Tango.
something.
Yeah.
stay frosty. All right.
Granada!
Brian,
oh, is it me?
was
Okay.
before you, Tony.
Yeah,
Limbo.
Really?
Limbo. It felt like it was. I didn't like the controls. It was weird to me. I like the concept behind it. I thought it was an interesting style of game, but compared to Braid, I felt like the controls just weren't as good. And they're
Braid
kind
had
of
some sick controls.
Braid has some really good controls, and they're kind of like partner games. They weren't made by the same people. They're not related in any real way, but they're both conceptual platformers that try to do something beyond just running and jumping. And Limbo has that sense of dread that's very interesting, but I couldn't. I felt like it was designed in such a way as to fuck you up. It was designed to have a lot of cheap deaths, but at the same time, it wasn't.
Getting stabbed by a spider.
Yeah, well, the stab of the spider thing was interesting because it would really only happen if you slowed down.
Yeah.
But you had to go slow because you couldn't tell what the fuck anything was.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the point, but at the same time, it was frustrating because you really couldn't tell what anything was unless you died and then remember where everything was as you played through it. So you had to memorize it, kind of, and I didn't like that.
Okay.
Take that.
I love Limbo. I think it's a cool game.
You're wrong.
It's a pretty cool story and doesn't afraid of anything.
Cool story, bro.
Doesn't afraid of anything. Am I up?
Yep.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, right here. Fuck that game.
Piece of shit.
Garbage. That's what I stopped playing the series.
Yep, that was the game. No, I kept going, but that was the game that
Batman
started the
sucks.
downhill spiral, and they never recovered. It's just been getting worse and worse and more ridiculous. And
My God, Tony and I see eye to eye.
like Mike Mark said with the kill streaks, it just got like they were always shitty as soon as they got in. Modern Warfare 4 or Modern
Warfare.
Warfare Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1. The kill streaks were fine. World at War didn't screw them too bad, but I think the only reason it didn't was because they went 50 years back in technology and they went back to
What did they have?
So they were still fair. Then Modern Warfare 2 came out and broke the game forever. Not to mention the atrocious hit markers that nobody wants to talk about that Infinity Ward hasn't gotten right since the first Modern Warfare. And that's why my major complaint with people that I'm in the minority. I think Treyarch's the better developer, but Infinity Ward hasn't had hit markers work since. That's when they started the kill cam, and you'd see the guy missing. You'd be this
They
microphone.
started the kill cam in Call of Duty 1.
The
I'm just
shit,
saying.
the shit would be over here, and you'd die.
Only for OGs, though.
Yeah, nobody cares about PC gaming.
The few million people
nobody
did.
cares,
The
nobody cares.
50 Game of the Year awards it had,
Nobody
they
cares.
cared.
Nobody
They
cares.
cared.
You know what? Hey, that's it. I'm making forward compatible the game. Brian, you're going to start your own committee, and you're going to give us a Game of the Year award, because that's how that shit works. None of those awards mean fucking anything.
Yeah, that's true. But it's
Like, there's no 50 committees out there giving out Game of the Year awards. It's bullshit. We can give out Game of the Year awards.
We
should.
And then a company
Don't we
can
do
stick
it?
a little shiny fucking
Painkiller.
sticker on their box.
Painkiller. We'll be the only ones.
And then they'll re-release it. The game of the
With
year
all the
edition.
DLC.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what we got to do.
Winner of over 1 Game of the Year awards.
No,
One plus.
The award-winning Game
Yeah.
of the Year edition.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck gave Dead Rising,
Dead Island.
Dead Island a fucking Game of the Year?
It's a
award?
decent game,
It
but
sucked balls.
Ball sucking.
Yep. Zombie balls
Suckling.
suck.
number 9.
Well, this goes along with what you guys said. This is mostly the entire Call of Duty series beyond Modern Warfare 1.
Yes.
World of War's good.
I don't really have much else to say.
No.
I only played part 4. It's just not my genre. But I just industry wide, there's so much hate towards the series, and
Mine. Hitman Absolution.
Oh shit! Can't believe you threw a Hitman on there.
What the hell?
See, hey,
I mean, they put together a solid game, but it didn't have the amount of charm that Blood Money did going back years afterwards, and just the amount of detail they put into it.
Mark's gonna have to.
They
run
a
for
lot
number
of
one.
back alleys and dark buildings. The level design wasn't as cool. Like Blood Money had it going on. They had the the FBI lane where all like the most wanted people were, but they were under FBI protection, and they had a bunch of cool missions. The Ferris wheel missions. They had a lot more cool missions, I guess. And I think they tried to do too dark and gritty, and I think it missed the charm the other one had.
Number 9.
Dark
Nobody plays
Souls.
Hitman.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Conceptually, I like the game.
I
My
hate your
problem-
list, by the way. I just hate it.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I think the game is interesting, and
You
I like
should
the
stab
idea
it.
behind it. My problem with Dark Souls is the controls. It's not the challenge. It's not the concept. It's the way that like I can't.
Brian
Dark
went
Souls
really
was a
against the
Demon
grain.
Souls.
He is like the most well thought out list, I think. You went really against the grain.
I like the idea behind those games. I think it's very interesting. And my complaint about them is that they made it challenging because they limit you so much. And your character is, especially early in the game, is slow and unresponsive. And I guess it gets better as you go on, but I couldn't get into it. I just remember like, don't you have to like press one button to ready and another button to swing or something like that? I'm trying to remember how it worked. It's been so long since I played it. But I just remember thinking the controls were just, your character moved too weirdly for me. I didn't like it. So I felt like a lot of the challenge was you fighting the controls rather than the enemies. That's what I didn't like about it.
Okay.
Don't you get killed by a pig or something in that game? Boar or some shit?
I don't. It's been so long. I don't remember. I remember.
Stupid.
Yeah, I just remember being like, this game doesn't play well. Like I like the I'm rambling.
Number 9. Which one do I want to leave for last?
Make sure nobody else picks it up.
Journey.
Really?
I thought about putting it on my list. It actually did just.
I
Miss.
loved Journey. I did. But the amount of praise that game got, Game of the Generation, Game of the Year awards, it wasn't even Game of the Year. It was a really cool game.
Mm-hmm.
Played it once, never felt the need to play it again. It was an emotional tale. It still had really bad controls and really bad, like the simple stuff. You know what I mean? It was just an emotional experience, which is really cool that kind of stuff is coming around to video gaming now. But I just think that game got too much hype about it. I don't have too much bad things to say about it. I enjoyed the game. I like it a lot, but it's not worthy of the amount of awards and hype that the game got.
Interesting.
It's a good game, and that's where it stops.
All right.
My last one, I don't know if this one counts, but I'm going to say it.
Oh, it counts.
That counts.
Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Fuck
I
yes.
agree. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Fuck Angry Birds.
Like it's fun. It's
I like
not.
playing them when I'm pooping. To be honest.
See, well, that's the thing. Is Angry Birds. It's a cool concept, but like the amount of obsession that people have over it is mind-boggling.
The
to me.
movie.
Yeah, that's too much. It's too much.
What the fuck is that?
I agree. It is overrated. It's fun, but it's way overrated.
Yeah, I'll give it
For
that.
a $40 console release, totally.
Oh fuck that!
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
99
That's how much they
cents
are.
for the whole thing is most you should pay for something like Angry
Yeah.
Birds. Yeah.
My number one. Jason's gonna hit
Yo,
me.
yo.
It's The Walking Dead.
Fuck you.
Oh shit!
Wow.
He went there.
And it's not
I'm
even.
gonna sit down here.
And
I want to look him in the face when he says this.
But I got stuff to say about this.
Fine.
And I have specific reasons for that. And it literally is. It ran like crap.
It did though.
Okay.
I mean, the story. Okay, here's the best story. Go play it. I guarantee you'll love it. But it played bad.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's overlooking the amount of frame drops.
Again,
and,
I promise, and I know we've had this discussion almost a year ago. I did not encounter any
You
of
were
these
the one
problems with
person in
mine.
the world.
Yeah, I don't know
You were
how.
the one person.
You
in
want
the
to borrow
world.
my copy because it's clean. It's clean. I didn't have any problems.
No, I agree. I agree with Mark. It's this is why I was so adamant that it didn't win our Game of the Year award
What if it
in
wasn't your copy? What if it was
2012?
Yeah.
Xbox?
It couldn't, because as good as the story was, to be the Game of the Year, you have to hit on all cylinders. You have to have excellent controls, excellent story, and excellent visuals.
Got to be the whole package.
And the thing just had an excellent story. Broken ass controls, and it had a lot of weird issues. There were save issues that a lot of people experienced.
Yeah.
I didn't get those
I
personally.
didn't get those either. So
There
it's
was frame rate drops. There was skipping, stuttering, screen tears. It was a mess.
And it wasn't a visually high definition game.
No, it was,
cel-shaded
it was
bullshit,
designed
but-
to work on everything. It was designed to be
Yeah.
as portable as possible,
Which
which is a good way to design it.
But
yeah,
I-
no, it was
yeah,
perfect. It looks
yeah.
fine. I actually like the art
But you'd
design
think
of it,
that it would work better.
immensely.
Yeah.
But you would think with the way it was made, it would also run better. I mean, most of the backdrops are all two-dimensional stuff. They really only had to render a few things, few objects on
Poker
screen.
Night's the same way. Poker Night, the
Poker
inventory
Night and the inventory runs. The first one runs perfect on PC.
did not
Poker
run well
Night-
on my computer.
Seriously, okay.
Yeah, but I was running on a Mac. But you shouldn't think that. You wouldn't think that would matter.
No, it wouldn't matter either.
Yeah.
Poker Night the Inventory
Don't
2,
do it.
which I got on Xbox,
Uh-huh.
ran like garbage.
Yeah, and you don't know why because it's not just
it's
poker.
when I'm moving around.
It's
isn't it?
4 characters moving on the screen in a background. Why does that?
Yeah.
Why is that so hard? Yeah, Telltale needs better graphics, guys.
I do know they have been personally looking for a build manager
Mm-hmm.
for
Well, now they're not going to hire you because you've been talking shit about them.
I know what their problems are. They should hire me. They've literally because I look on their job board because they're in Gama Sutra and they've been looking for over a year and they haven't hired anybody. That job listing has still been open.
They must be underpaying or something because
Could be.
you'd think that there'd be one competent person.
And you
out
know
there.
what they do? Actually, like the way they messed up when they originally posted it on Gama Sutra. They have
Fine, be that
want to work for the Game of the Year company, and then it says the thing next to it. They're like promoting themselves as this awesome company, and they have some issues still.
I don't know. Maybe they're shit to work for or something. I don't know. That's weird.
Number 10. We got 5 minutes till kick off, so let's go.
Monster Hunter, whichever one came out this generation. I've never gotten the Monster Hunter.
Everyone has come out this generation. Is that a new series this generation?
No, I think it started on the PS2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's on the PSP, it's on the Wii, it's on the Wii U, it's on the 3DS. I've played a couple different versions of them, like when there's a demo available, and I've never understood why people love these. Like, I get like the whole I'm hunting the monsters and the loot
I
stuff.
don't think it's story or
But the
anything. It's-
controls are really bad. They don't control well. If people always say you have to get used to the controls. No, if you have to get used to the controls, there's something wrong with the controls, and they should fix that.
I think that complaint is the same
Resident 6.
complaint that the Japanese market has
About
toward-
American games.
About
that could
Ameri-
be.
yeah.
That could be. And I'm not like a big first-person fan, but the controls make sense to me. And I just
They've evolved over time.
They have.
I think someone who's never played it's
well, it's very difficult to get into when you first start. Absolutely, like whether it's 2 thumbs or
Yeah.
WASD. But in terms of Monster Hunter,
WASD?
WASD, whatever.
Wazda.
Yeah, I've never understood how anybody can play Monster Hunter because just like with the Batman Arkham City gadget options during
This
combat,
fucking guy's just gonna kill everybody today.
it's always so crazy. It's like hold down the L button and then point the right stick at your enemy and then move your finger up here in a claw shape and tap.
Well, tonguing triangle.
Yeah. And then on the Wii U, also tap your nose to the screen. Fuck you! A to attack whatever's in front of you. And auto lock on. Please, for the love of God, lock on. Because those enemies are way more agile than your character. Way more agile. Like, they're rolling around you and you're like...
And what, Batman?
No.
I was going to
No,
say,
Monster
I'm
Hunter.
like, I'll go
Monster
show you
Hunter.
that shit.
In the demo,
I'm flipping
the
around,
monster you fight
motherfuckers.
in the demo is running circles around you. And you're like...
Yeah.
No, not good.
I can see that.
Not good. Everybody freaking loves this game, especially in Japan. There's a good following in the U.S. as well. I don't know if these people just have like infinite patience or like some kind of special
Infinite patience.
Special mind.
or special like thumbs that can track on their. I don't know.
They're
I
like
can't-
dual thumbs.
I don't know how people can play Monster Hunter games and be like, this is good. I don't get it. Okay, I'm done ranting.
He's getting angry.
Number 10,
Your last one, Tony. Make it a good
Did
one.
you do yours?
Skyrim.
Oh! Come on.
Why,
Yeah.
you like this shit, or are you mad
Yeah,
you forgot
I
about
love Skyrim.
it? It is so...
Garbage.
I thought about putting it
I
in there.
fucking-
had to stop playing it. It was eating up my life.
It's so
Garbage.
boring.
Oh, I
Oh
love
my god. This is another example of one of those games that you do
like
one
Fallout.
mission and it's just 90 more open and you're just running and fucking nothing's happening.
Lost
See,
in the
but the-
fucking
but-
Oh my
woods.
god, let me pick up this pot. Oh, okay.
the thing
Now let
about-
me pick up this shovel. Oh, now my backpack's full. What do I want to get rid of? The pot or the shovel? Let's get rid of the shovel. Then you go pick up something else. It's like,
But
now
you
your
don't have to
inventory's
pick
fucking
that-
full.
There's no reason to pick that stuff up.
Oh, here, go open this fucking lock, and then your lockpick broke. Oh, now
That's why I
you're
use a
fucking
mod
fucked.
to just
That's
open
it.
it.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
it's so dumb.
I totally agree, 100%.
I had to stop at like 140 hours. Like, this is too much.
My life.
Tony has
That was in
redeemed
week 1,
himself.
right?
Redeem
First
myself.
week,
My list
right?
is excellent.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the first week, but it's in like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, I played it a lot.
Garbage.
I loved it.
Garbage.
I still
It's
enjoyed
not-
it.
it's not perfect.
Fallout.
I enjoyed it
just like
when the
Mass
mods
Effect.
came in.
All of it's garbage.
Now Brian's
All
getting
on
mad.
my list.
Now Brian's getting
All on
mad.
my list. All on it. Fallout 3.
He's like,
garbage.
Jason's like, my
Garbage.
list. My list. Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 3. The Mass Effect trilogy box.
You know
Damn
what?
right. That's how it goes.
The little...
That's how it goes.
You could have said the app.
The little
Mass
Mass
Effect
Effect app.
Garbage.
DLC for Mass Effect.
Fuck your shit,
I'm out.
From Ashes bullshit. Oh, how dare you.
My number 1 pick is Fallout 3.
So, of all the lists, none of you picked the Gears of War game?
No, 'cause
I was
they're
thinking
excellent.
about Judgment.
I don't think Gears of War is overrated.
Everybody knew Judgment was gonna suck.
That's
They
the
get-
thing. That's
wasn't
why
made by
Judgment
Epic.
wasn't on my list. Is because Judgment was bound to be bad and it didn't
They're just,
sell well.
they get like
didn't
8s
review
or
well,
9s.
and-
They're not like...
Most fans of Microsoft consoles point to this as like one of the biggest buying points of the console.
Because it's good. It's not overrated.
If
It's
you're
not
getting 3,
overrated.
then
Gears of War is the
can't get
cleanest.
anything like
it is
that
the
anywhere else.
cleanest third-person shooter ever.
With the exception of that piece of crap.
America. That was on
No,
America.
it's still a clean shooter.
Yeah, it's just.
It used to be.
you can only-
First person.
you can
First
only call
person.
it shit so much. It's
First
still shit.
first person's a different world, but third person there's no cleaner shooter. Everything about it. There's arguments to be made that the fucking levels are a little dry or gray or.
Oh, well, that's the
fucking-
Unreal 3
That's
engine.
the biggest complaint
You
that
know what
I've
I
ever
mean?
heard
There's
is the
stuff-
color palette for
That's
Gears 2.
that's not
There's
against
stuff like
Gears
that,
though.
or-
That's
Yeah.
against Unreal 3
Yeah.
games. That's
but then
just
they
thrown in there
answered
because
that
of it.
in Gears 3 when they completely changed the color
Yeah.
palette. You're in a fucking jungle and you know all this other shit. They really take you out of that. You know, you're not just in a ruined city or a cave.
Yeah.
And it was an American game. Up
American.
until Judgment, they never outsourced a single hour of work.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even gonna do final thoughts. This has been episode 85, part 2. Thanks for
Go
tuning in, guys.
Bears!
Catching us next week, same time. Same place.
Bears!
Bears game.
Fuck Fallout.